Hello, students. In the previous modules, so far we have seen that how do we determine the coefficients of a linear regression problem of the straight line which we are going to fit over a set of data. We saw that we use least squares estimators method to determine beta naught cap and beta 1 cap, which are unbiased estimator of beta naught and beta 1. This we proved. And then we also got the estimate of their variances. And we also showed that beta naught cap and beta 1 cap may vary from one sample to another sample. That means beta naught cap and beta 1 cap will be random variables and their distribution, which is yi. And then we saw some interesting properties of least square estimators, and then we got an estimate of what we call sigma square. Sigma square is the population variance in the response variable that we got from the data, because in general, we have to obtain it from the data. And we proved that sum of squares of residuals are good estimators of sigma square. So now, once you have fitted a model, you have a regression line fitted, how do you know that your regressed line or your fitted line is a good one, right? So we need quantitative estimates to tell that our line is a good fitted line, right? So there are some measures, quantitative measures, to explain that how well our model fits to the data, right? We call this goodness of fit measure also. So you know that SYY, which is computed if we have a set of data, for example, a sample of data, XYs and YIs, a paired set of data, SYY, which is defined like this, is a good measure of variance of the data. You know, sample variance. How do we compute sample variance? In some of the previous module, you have seen that sample variance can be computed as 1 over n minus 1 summation over I1 to n yi minus y bar whole square, right? So you can see that this value is a good estimate of variations, that how much yi's are varying around or how well they are distributed around y bar, how much varies, whether they are far away from the mean or they are quite close to the mean, right? So just to give an idea that what I'm saying, that is, it makes sense. Like for example, all yi's are equal. If in your data, all yi's would have been equal from y1 to y10, for example, you can see that this value would be 0, because then y bar will also be equal. So then that means it's a good measure of the variation in the response variable. Okay. So now there are two things, how this variation is coming in the response variable yi. There are two causes for that. First one is that yi varies with xi, because you know that there is a relationship between that you have seen in the previous modules, that there is a relationship or there is a dependence of yi's over xi. That's why we are calling it as a dependent variable or a response variable, right? Second one, the cause of second variation is that at a single value of xi, yi has a variance sigma square. So that we saw from the first module, that at a single observation, even at a single value of x, when you are repeating the experiment multiple times, yi will not be the same value. For example, I said in the voltage current Ohm's law experiment, if you repeat the experiment every 30 minutes and give the same voltage, you are not going to get the same current. There will be some variation there. right? So another component of variance is this. So in order to account for the first cause of variance, that relationship between y and xi, we have already fitted this relationship a straight line, and these are our predicted values at each observation point corresponding to each xi. So there is one observed value of y, the other one yi cap is the predicted value of yi, which we write as beta naught cap plus beta 1 cap xi. So you know that this regression line accounts for the variation of yi with xi. So this is accounting for that variability in y, which is coming because of the relationship between y and xi. So the quantity which we call sum of squares of residual is a measure which we define it like this: sum of squares of residual, summation over I1 to n yi minus beta naught cap minus beta 1 cap xi whole square. So this quantity is telling us the remaining variability in the y, which has been not accounted by this, our relationship. So our straight fitted line is accounting for some variability. The remaining one is this. So if this is the remaining one, I can write that SYY minus sum of squares of residuals represents the amount of variation in the response variable that is explained by our regression line. So sum of squares of residual is telling the variability which our regression line is not explaining or not accounting for. So the remaining one which our regression line is accounting for is actually SYY minus sum of squares of residuals. So just to normalize this, because this is the important quantity, this is giving you the amount of variation in the response variable that is explained by our regression line. So to normalize this, we have divided it by SYY. So R square, we define a new quantity R square, which is SYY minus sum of squares of residual by SYY, which is 1 minus R square is equal to 1 minus sum of squares of residuals divided by SYY. So this represents the proportion of the variation. The total, there is total variation. This line, this quantity represents the proportion of the variation in the response variable that is explained by the regression line, the fitted regression line. So R square is called coefficient of determination. Its value varies from 0 to 1, as you can see. So that means if my sum of squares of residuals, SS, for example, let's see this. If my sum of squares of residuals is SYY, right? So if this is SYY and sum of squares of residual is 1 and is equal, then R square will be essentially 0. You can clearly see. That means the variability which my regression fitted line is not explaining, is this, is equal to the total variability which is already there in the y. That means my regression line is not a good one. So my R square will become 0. And if my sum of squares of residuals are 0, that means my fitted line, if sum of squares of residuals are 0, that means my regression fitted regression line here is actually accounting for all the variability there, right? In that case, R square will be 1. So you can see that if R square tends towards 1, it will never be 1, but if it goes close to 1, that means most of the variation is explained by our fitted regression line. That means our fitted regression line is a good fitted line. So this quantity R square is giving you a quantitative measure of what we call the goodness of the fit of our model. Similarly, if R square goes towards 0, that means the fitted regression line doesn't explain the variance, the variability in the response variable. It's not a good fitted line. Related to that, I want to discuss one more quantity with which often I have seen people get confused, because you must have also heard about or must have known about one quantity, small r. And this confusion becomes even more when people present this coefficient of determination R square as a square root of this. When people write it R in place of R square, then the confusion between R and capital R and small r is even larger. So R square, we know now that it is telling you, it is a measure that how good your fitted regression line explains the variability in Y, right? It's a quantitative indicator of how well the regression line model fits the data. And we have seen that it varies from 0 to 1. For 0, it is a poor fit. If it is close to 1, then it means it's a good fit. On the other hand, this quantity small r, which is defined as sample correlation coefficient of the set of data which you have. We have a paired set of data, right? Xi, yi, where i's are going from I1 to n and n are total number of observations. And this sample correlation coefficient is defined as a summation over I 1 to n xi minus x bar, y minus, this should be yi minus y bar divided by square root of sum over I1 to n xi minus x bar whole square, summation over I1 to n y I minus y by whole square. So these are two measures of the variance, this is measure of variance in the xi's, this is measure of variance in yi's. And this quantity which we have here in the numerator is a quantity which gives a measure of that how x and y vary together. That means you have seen here, this is x bar, that is average value of x's. This is y bar, that is average value of y. And then this quantity, if this is more than xi, so this will be on the plus side, right? If this yi is also more than y bar, so as I said, if xi is more than x bar and yi is also more than y bar, that means this entire quantity is going to be plus. If one of them is smaller than the respective mean, whether it is xi becoming lesser than x bar or yi becoming lesser than y bar, this quantity is going to become negative. What does that mean? That means if xi is becoming larger, and at the same time, the corresponding values of yi's are also becoming larger with respect to the mean. On the other hand, if xi is becoming lower than the respective mean and yi is also becoming lower than respective mean. So if xi is smaller than x bar and yi's are also smaller than y bar, still this quantity will be positive because there will be two minuses. But if one of them is higher than the mean, respective mean, and the other one is lower than the respective mean, this quantity will be negative. So now you can get an intuitive idea that how this quantity is going to tell us about that how xi and yi's are varying together. So if xi and yi are moving in the same direction, that higher xi's values are, you have a corresponding higher yi values. If you xi's are going down, your corresponding yi's are also decreasing. Then this quantity becomes positive. That means they are moving in the same direction. Higher xi is correlated with higher y. If their movement is in the negative direction, then this quantity will be negative. So this quantity R provides you a measure of the degree to which higher values of yi are paired with higher values of xi. So you can clearly see that R varies from -1 to +1, whereas R square varies from 0 to 1. That means R gives you an idea that how two variables vary together, whereas R square gives coefficient of determination, that how well your regression line fits the data, right? So these are the two basic differences. You will see in some research presentation in near future that people do present R square and they do present R. So you have to differentiate between them, right? Now, this is just an example I have taken from one book. This is a scatter plot. These are X values on Y values. These days, you can do regression on any software or any programming language, Python or R. But here in this example, I'm just doing it by hand, just to show, and you can match these values with your book values, because in the book they have done it using R. So these are our xi's, independent variable, yi's are response variable. So this plot may not be a perfect plot, may not be a perfectly scaled plot. So it's just to give you an idea that how these values are varying with, how the values of y are varying with x. So fitted lines can be somewhere in between. I have not drawn. And I'm just estimating beta naught cap and beta 1 cap. So using these relationship, as I said before, that we can estimate beta naught cap and beta 1 cap using those equations and using the data. These are x bar and y bar as computed. Here xi square and xyi. The cross terms are computed because we need all these values here. And then finally, what I get the estimate of beta naught, beta 1 cap and beta 1 cap. This is my slope term and this is my intercept term. And we can also compute sum of squares of residual. We can compute sigma square and we can compute the coefficient of determination R square. But these days, when you have large amount of data, you don't have to do it by hand and you cannot do it by hand in the reasonable amount of time. So people mostly do it either on R or MATLAB or any other language. So you can try to do it if you know any programming language with the programming language also, right? So this module finishes here. Thank you.